to another reaction of a killer inside the mind of Aaron Hernandez. This is episode 2. So it's been a while, right? This was like one of my first shows I started doing. And then the first episode was super dark. It was so dark and it was so depressing, and it felt like it reminded me of, like, honestly, when I was younger and what he was going through emotionally. It's kind of reminded me of myself. So I don't know, I think my inner conscious self was like, don't watch this shit. It was like making me very uncomfortable, but I'm gonna finish it. We have 2 more episodes to go. I feel like all these documentaries that deal with serial killers or like murders and stuff like that is always going to make me uncomfortable. I'm always going to want to stop watching it, but I just gotta finish it. Once again, I mean, I don't know his whole story, but it's just extremely sad. He was a very attractive young man, and I think that I don't follow football, but I see that he was really good at football, but it seems obviously he had another side of him, that he was doing things that nobody knew, right? So we're gonna get into the 2nd episode. After we're done with the 3rd episode, depending where I am, I'm just not gonna pick up any shows. I still am doing True Detective and Killer Eve, but I don't know if I'll do this show or once I finish this show, if I'll pick up Fargo. I know I want to pick up Fargo soon, so look out for that. But we'll be getting into Fargo, and no, I never saw the movie Fargo. I'm just going to jump into the TV series. And we'll try out the 1st season of Fargo. If the views are viewing, the likes are liking, the comments are always commenting, we'll continue on further. So let's jump into the 2nd episode of this. You want to see the full reaction, y'all? Of course you can. I will have it available for you on Patreon. So please sign to Patreon today. And please smash the like button, share, and don't forget to comment down below, y'all. It does wonders for this video. This is a very small YouTube channel, so please like and share the video. I also have another YouTube channel, in case you guys do not already know. The link to that channel is down below, so please click the link and subscribe over there as well. There is something burning in my side of my eye right over here, and it's making me want to turn this light off. But once again, I'm a reactor. It's time to react to things. So without further ado, let's jump into the killer inside the mind of Aaron Hernandez and find out exactly what this documentary has got to give.
I'm still trying to get you.
Brian Murphy, Aaron's agent.
Can you get me a Smith and Wesson deal?
He's crazy.
2 men shot right in the middle of the street in their car at a stoplight, and it just baffled us. Evidence would start to point towards Mr. Hernandez, and I would repeatedly say, no, it cannot be. And everything going for him financially and otherwise, how could he get involved in something like this?
Across the street from Gillette Stadium, because the Patriots don't even want us on their property when we're doing an Aaron Hernandez story now.
This stuff is true, then I've been duped, and our whole organization has been duped.
How do you know what that person is, mentally? How are they? You don't really know. You just see this quiet guy.
Hernandez drove up next to 2 men and opened fire after Hernandez blamed them for spilling a drink at a nightclub.
That's no sane person. That's no sane person.
That's crazy.
Prosecution was never allowed to introduce to the jury that Aaron Hernandez was a suspect in a double homicide.
They can't mention the other one until you go to court for that one.
Nah, I'm saying that'll be a whole different court. I'm not worried if they give me anything. I'm worried about doing life in jail.
Despite the fact that she was only a cousin, he was, by his own admission on the tapes, closer to her than his own mother.
Battling another round of breast cancer, and today she appeared frail and had trouble standing up to accept her sentence.
Rather than answer one single question about the car, of going to jail for a number of months, and it had a disastrous effect on her cancer treatment.
I do miss you all the time, though. Stupid. Oh my God.
She the most when you were in jail. I was so depressed. Fuck, what if she doesn't like me? I don't know.
Wait. Yeah, like that could ever happen. I could never and would never stop loving you. Stupid. You're like my child.
Brother was at college and his mother, so there was a lot of things where no one was more lonely at that point than Aaron.
Aaron had a plan where he was going to join DJ at the University of Connecticut and decides to take a visit to the University of Florida, which was never part of the plan.
Aaron Hernandez from Bristol, Connecticut. I played at Bristol Central High School, and I'm going to be a Gator.
They do their due diligence, and they knew that they were getting an unbelievable player that was very, very young.
This was the highest level of college football you could get.
Interesting.
There are a lot of elements, people chomping their arms. You know, the town is, and the city as a whole region is all in.
What are you doing?
His number one thing when you talk to Urban Meyer about recruiting is he wants a competitor.
Tim Tebow was the guy that you heard about as a player.
Urban Meyer and Tim Tebow are this uber competitive pair.
Personally, thank Coach Meyer for giving me the opportunity to be a Gator. I love him. He's like a father figure.
Tim Tebow's religion is known to everybody, his deep faith. He writes John 3:16 on his eye black.
If you're coming from, Connecticut, they don't know who we are.
Now they're catching the ball from a very talented freshman tight end, Aaron Hernandez.
I think he'll be, without a doubt, one of our main guys in offense. So yeah, I'll be looking for him.
Had that rare combination of speed and size and ability to catch the ball.
Establishes himself as part of the Florida machine that's going to be pursuing these titles.
Football meant everything to him. He was very committed to it. His focus was on point.
They were an absolute powerhouse. They won game after game after game.
If you don't win, your school is literally going to lose millions of dollars.
At Wisconsin, I was taken aback by how serious practice was taken. I know our upperclassmen with their pants to their knees just waiting to get their Toradol injections. Toradol, this painkiller that our team docs would administer so guys could play with whatever they had going on.
If a player, you know what I mean by players, like you know what I'm saying? If players want it, they're getting that.
Basically kids, young men, in situations that'll compromise their long-term health just to beat Northwestern.
We just dream about it, we live it out on the semi-pro field, and we pay for that experience alone. We're all supposed to pay about $75 to $100 each just so we can pay the referees. Definitely different paradox than what Hernandez or somebody would be going through. Turn to Mike Branch, and Mike like a proud father or uncle. Mike's sitting there like, you like him, right?
Odin Lloyd had to borrow somebody's jersey because he didn't put his money in the pot at one point.
The most vile gangsters in these streets knew not to fuck with us because we were football players. Fucking football player that wanted to be a fake fucking gangster killed my boy.
There's now a grisly murder in a field right next to Aaron Hernandez's home. Obviously, the first suspect that they're going to have is Aaron Hernandez. They had cell phone tower evidence and various surveillance videos. One of the more jarring images is of him dancing at the gas station. He seems to be impaired. Minutes later, we'll pick up a friend of his and drive him directly to a spot where he murders him.
Two other items, Bubblicious blue cotton candy gum and Black and Mild.
There was a blunt that was located to the right of the deceased body.
He turns the car the next day, and there's still gun shells in the Enterprise rent-a-car.
It was like blue Bubblicious gum. And then running the seat forward, I looked up and I saw what I thought was a bullet.
Matched shell casings from the murder scene to one .45 caliber shell found in Hernandez's rental car.
There were tire tracks, text messages.
And we're consistent with a Retro 11 Air Jordan size 13.
And it is clear that Aaron Hernandez is guilty of something significant.
His feelings were hurt or he felt personally dissed. It seems at least on 3 instances he took it out by pulling out a gun and shooting people.
At a bar called The Swamp. But he is served 2 alcoholic drinks that night, and he thinks that there's no bill. What about this? What about this? And Hernandez sucker punches him right in the ear.
Manager declined to pursue charges, and he was never charged with a crime on it.
From this day forth, I'm not to be tested.
And then the tattoos started pouring on as the years went on at the University of Florida.
These weren't just art to Aaron Hernandez. These tattoos meant a lot to him.
It's to be, it is up to me. Basically say whatever I want my life to be, it's up to me to make it out that way.
His father passed. He basically lost the ballast. They kept him on course.
My nigga, boy, I know you would think about that shit all night, boy. Alright, bitches, but it don't be bitches like that. Like, them bitches are way better than my wifey, you know what I'm saying?
Just everything that was in there, it must have been a difficult time to figure out who he was or what is gonna make me happy.
My first thought process to him getting all the tattoos was he's trying to hide his sexuality.
Moving into...
Hands got tats. I fucking tired of time.
He probably felt a lot of shame.
Got up to a little over 370. Yeah, I was trying to be a stereotypical sloppy straight guy. I thought if I'm unattractive as possible, that takes the pressure off of having to answer, why aren't you dating a girl?
He talks kind of annoying.
Down in Gainesville, there's a ton of distractions, and head coach Urban Meyer knows this.
Aaron would come over to the family dinners. They would meet. Urban said they would have Bible studies together.
As part of our family, make decisions that are just horrible.
There's one of those on the other side of the jail in a unit. Is this an all-male jail? Yeah, besides those things.
They're called transgender. Don't call them those things.
In jail, they call them things.
They're not things. They're humans just like you.
I understand that.
He was what we call a crash dummy. That's what we call them, crash dummies. The ability to just do something brash or arrogant or really off the wall to get attention. Getting away with a lot of stuff down there, and the more you get away with shit, the more you feel untouchable.
That's true.
There's an open case in Gainesville where one night a couple guys got in a fight with some football players, they believe. Muscular man who fits Aaron Hernandez's description, shoot into their car.
Freshman year of college, I don't even think he was 18 years old. I think he was still 17 when that had happened.
Who was involved in that officially remains a mystery in Gainesville.
It's a part of a way of life. Football is very, very important, very, very powerful.
System where the marketing arm is the athletics department, and they want to have these images.
Congratulations to the University of Florida Gators.
Urban Meyer instructed him not to come back for his senior year. That meant Aaron needed to enter the NFL. Draft picks are extremely
valuable. He looks so much older.
These are $1 million decisions that can shape the direction of a team. His score for maturity was the lowest possible. They did reveal failed drug tests.
His agent and Aaron composed a letter to the New England Patriots. They wanted as much money as he could get, which is what you get when you're a top draft pick.
I was very proud and I was very happy for him and I was very excited to see the future for him.
The New England Patriots select Rob Gronkowski.
New England Patriots select Aaron Hernandez.
Has the talent of a first rounder, but doesn't go until the fourth round. And then there's the red flags start to come up. Why is that?
Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft have a relationship with Urban Meyer, and they leaned on him for advice.
He's got this unbelievable talent. If you can get him there, he'll listen. He's coachable. You can kind of hone him in.
Every time he would go to Connecticut, I'd have players on my team say, watch this guy. We would try not to let him go back to Connecticut.
Damn.
Wanted him to be drafted by Seattle, Oakland, San Francisco. People that wanted to see him had access to fly out and go see him, but they couldn't just take a 2-hour drive.
Did you meet an individual by the name of Aaron Hernandez?
Yes.
Drug kingpin is how prosecutors describe him.
Oh.
And a gun dealer in Connecticut.
Burglary in the 3rd degree, and disorderly conduct, and criminal mischief 2nd degree.
Is there anything else?
Went and got a gun outside the bar, came back, shot into the bar 11 times.
I would bring in marijuana. That's how our relationship began, kind of.
Aaron didn't need that guy in his life. Who knows if any of this happens?
Trying to put yourself around people that want to see you be successful.
The Patriot way sounds like a cliche, cheesy marketing thing. It works. Accountability, that you're going to show up early, you're going to work hard, you're going to do the right thing, and we're going to win championships.
I think what makes Coach Belichick such a good coach is his extreme attention to detail. He studied generals and military because of his dad. And that was kind of his foundation with how he runs the place. As soon as the Patriots drafted me, that was the best possible situation I could have ended up in.
Do you know an individual named Aaron Hernandez?
I do.
What grade did you meet? How frequently would you speak with Mr. Hernandez on the phone?
Probably every day.
We're super close.
Just gonna calm down now after being in jail, not partying, not fucking, not doing anything, you know what I mean?
Once Aaron...
He kind of took us a joke, it seems.
Drafted by the Patriots.
I had decided to kind of up and leave my life and move with him. The designated spot.
Where was that?
His man cave.
In the basement?
Yes.
And how did you meet Odin Boyd?
Through my sister.
When I stopped seeing him, I believe that's when he started rubbing elbows with that group of people.
The sisters would hang out all the time, and so these two were kind of forced into a relationship.
Odin Boyd would obtain marijuana and roll once for Aaron.
And they'd roll joints and smoke them down there and watch movies, play video games and all that.
Aaron definitely had a big personality. You could see it. He approached me in 2010 and, was asking me what I did. It's like, man, take my number down. We could go hang out. And I still got a text message and it just says, holla at me.
Close enough to his hometown of Bristol, Connecticut, where it was easy for him to go back and hang out with his crowd.
He kind of just expressed to me that, Aaron wasn't building these relationships and he wasn't having fun. That made me nervous. That made me really nervous.
I don't know, they just try to ruin all your fun because they want you to only be business, which is why they win, you know what I mean? I loved it because I love football more than most people.
Once one person does something, another team will do it. Well, Bill, he won't do what everybody else is doing.
This is caught by Hernandez.
Look at Hernandez. I know we call him a tight end, but he's part wide receiver out there.
Him and Gronkowski, they're going to be the greatest two tight end tandem in NFL history, so I was a big fan of his.
To me, it's the hands. I mean, I think he's had 15 passes thrown in his direction, 13 catches.
I'm like a grandpa, like all my bones are like sore, you know what I mean?
And you got hurt on the field, and I had no clue what to do.
I would not want to play football at all. hold on to the damn helmet.
Drugs they shoot you guys up with and tell you to go out there and play. Play through your pain.
They banned that shit from the league, saying you only could take it if you have a serious injury or something. Guess who they gave that shit to every fucking game? Me.
Legends of the game who've complained about or were diagnosed with ailments connected to repeated blows to the head.
After his death, he became the first player to be diagnosed with the brain disease CTE.
Chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, a degenerative brain disease.
Former San Diego Chargers linebacker was found dead of a gunshot wound this morning.
He seemed like such a carefree
Oh,
guy.
I know him.
He used to play his ukulele all the time with his feet up.
Got himself in the chest so his brain could be studied. That was shocking to me.
Breaks the news that he did have a brain disease linked to head trauma.
Shrunken and hardened brain cells like these, telltale signs of CTE.
I wanted to be a Hall of Fame linebacker. I think that's why you can ignore a Junior Seau suicide.
They love what he did, and they love the way that he interacted with the team.
Obviously, the players are more excited, coaches are more excited, but I say with Bill Belichick, you can come prepared every game.
It's still good! It's still good!
When
I mean, they're always winning.
in for a football player that they're actually a participant in the Super Bowl.
Dream come true. I never thought I'd be in this position or have this experience.
The year that he went to the Super Bowl, there was a big shindig done at his mom's school with flowers.
You turn out to be now a role model. You have dozens of kids here who want to be your son.
And wasn't she like not a good mom?
No, if you feel you can't talk to me.
How could I? Well, how do you think me and why do you think me and Tanya are so close? I mean, let your feelings out. Talk about personal things. I mean, just everything. And you're gonna die without even knowing your son. That's the craziest thing about it.
Damn.
He scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
I'll do.
I think the biggest misconception is he was someone who had everything and threw it all away. Can you ever really define that he was happy? Can you ever really define that he was content?
He was doing everything that in that storybook setting would make you happy, but obviously he was still hurting.
Bradley, did you notice anything about the way the defendant, Mr. Aaron Hernandez, acted when he would be at nightclubs with him?
He didn't like people staring at him because he felt like they were trying him or testing him.
Extremely jovial, nice, friendly, somewhat loving guy to, in a moment, becoming angry. What did he ask you to help him purchase?
He asked me to get him a firearm. Felt like people thought he was soft or something and he was out to prove something.
Have secret compartments put into cars where you could hide a gun as he's driving around.
He's able to play football by day, gangster by night, in the sense of, running around with guns. Leave that stuff alone. Even if that's what you did in the past, you in a completely different space now.
There's guys with issues coming into your program, and the whole key is this: put him in an environment where he can have some success. He chose to go down the wrong road. This is not on the Patriots. This is on the player.
Right.
The people he murdered had no power over him.
It was a group of guys.
It was like
one of the gentlemen was
stalking
dancing. His drink splashed up and spilled on. There they go, there they go.
What happened next?
He said, go. Let's catch up to the... He said, yo, one time. And nobody turned around from the car. They turned. And he was like, what's up now, niggas? Started firing shots into the car.
I was notified at about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was asked if I would take the case.
Because they spelled drink
on him? It was
on
an
him?
eerie quiet. This is somebody's brother, this is somebody's son, and it was, it's a horrible thing.
Began trying to investigate the double homicide. The problem was there was no one with a motive to kill these guys. Cleaning offices at night, and had just gone out on a really quiet Sunday night in Boston.
The investigation at that point very much became focused on the car. That's all we had. Their car, the suspect's vehicle, was a silver SUV. We then focused on the nightclub itself. Detectives right away recognized, hey, that's Aaron Hernandez.
Boston police at that time would have thought that Aaron Hernandez, the star Patriot, would be involved with a double homicide.
Try to lead them in the right direction. There's not that many Hispanics in the NFL, and it's just an honor to be one.
That's so sad.
Aaron Hernandez is reporting to the Patriots training camp. Fans are cheering for him.
The Patriots had their owner, Robert Kraft, praising him for his maturity. He's there every day, working out, going through meetings, doing everything that they want. Reward him with a $40 million contract just 1 month after the double homicide in Boston. There certainly was some connection between owner and player that isn't always common in the NFL.
Meanwhile, he killed 2
We were
people.
on a fucking little leash. Oh, give me a crumb here and there. Oh, Aaron, you're so great. 40 million. Give me $1 million. I'm set for life. I'm not giving up in DJ right now. What do you mean?
When you heard about Aaron Hernandez, what
you thought, what your reaction was?
Next question.
Yeah, I'm not going to go there.
Don't walk off. I'll change the subject. Yeah, change it.
I've seen this kind of crime.
Oh, he was a football player? I don't know anything.
No one has allegedly murdered 2 people.
When it gets to the point where that leads to no suspect, it's extremely, extremely frustrating. Dealer contact with the 2 families, and they would oftentimes ask, is any update with our loved one?
He became extremely paranoid of everything and everybody. He didn't like iPhones around him because he said that he learned that they could record everything at all times.
February 2013, Aaron and Alexander Bradley take a trip down to Florida.
He became like standoffish. He got upset, I could tell. He walked away from me.
Sometime close to 5 o'clock in the morning, did all of you decide to leave?
Yes.
When you woke up from the sleep, what did you see?
Mr. Hernandez pointing the gun in my face. Shot the gun.
Oh, is that what happened to his face?
Heard the gunshot go off and saw the body, and that's what he called 911. Also, Sheriff's Office hasn't indicated if they are looking for somebody at this time.
I said, what's up? And he said, who's this? You know who this is.
What? Well, that was a crazy episode. Diving more into Aaron Hernandez. Clearly he had anger problem. You know, seeing those two dead bodies, seeing the two dead bodies of those two guys who in the car leap like this, and this is why I take such a long time watching these documentaries, because like they show things like that, and then it's forever engraved in your head. And life is so short. I remember somebody saying, when you get in a car, well, this is what somebody said. You get in the car, who said this? When you get in the car, you don't have your own life in your own hands, right? But I changed it to, as soon as you leave your you don't even need to leave your house. It got revised in 2024. But I used to say, once you leave your house, you don't have control of your own life, because as soon as you step outside, you never know who you might bump into that might take your life. It might sound morbid and dark, but you literally don't know. And nowadays, you don't even know they could break into your house, clearly. So there's that. But just to see those two people get killed, he shot that guy, Bradley, but didn't Bradley still go? Isn't he the same guy who went with him? Or was that a different guy? That might have been a different guy, because he killed his other friend, Odin, with two other guys. I thought Bradley was one of them, but Bradley, I guess, is somebody different. So he tried to kill Bradley, shot him because Bradley said what he said. Aaron Hernandez, as very attractive man, but you would not want to be near him. You don't know what you're gonna get. I wonder if he was a Gemini. No shade. No, psych. But you don't know what you're gonna get with him. Clearly, what was his? Now that I said it, I'm gonna look it up, because if he is a Gemini, I'm just saying, that'd be crazy. Aaron Hernandez birthday. Oh no, he was a Scorpio. Oh, sorry, Scorpios. But yeah, so it's just crazy that he murdered two people and then went and played football for a whole season, super unbothered. That's insane. Also, the cousin, who completely has loyalty to him, I don't know if she's still alive or dead or what happened to her. She wasn't looking that great back then, but she went to jail for him. Didn't want to give him up. Nothing of the sort. Then you have the mother who's celebrating Aaron Hernandez Day at her house, and she's fake crying. And, she clearly, kids were not born into this world evil unless you're the Omen child, okay? And there isn't that many Omen children that we know of. Children are molded and bred and changed and altered by their surroundings and by the people that raised them. Now, you could also say there are times and situations where a child goes left and completely changes from somebody could raise them perfectly holy and better than thou, and then they turn out to be like a rebel and act crazy, right? But there's always this, when people, this is my personal opinion, and I'm not a doctor or a psychiatrist, but I feel like I look at my own life, and there was so many things that made me such an angry person that started doing drugs at an early age, I started drinking at an early age. Aaron Hernandez lost his father, and he lost his father at a young age, which also growing up, you're altering, you're changing chemically and everything, right? Everything is getting altered. Then you lose somebody who was your foundation and your rock at an early age. And I lost my father at an early age, which altered my life and completely changed my life at that time. And then I went to 9th grade. And I was literally, I'm telling you, I was out of control. You could ask my mom. My mom, if she's watching this, could testify. I was out of control. I was drinking. I was fighting. I was doing drugs, and I wasn't out at the time. I had girlfriends too, believe it or not. Contrary to a popular belief, I did date girls. But I had girlfriends at the time, but I was gay, clearly. And I was so angry and violent. And I'm telling you, I'm so happy that I got out of it. I truly think with age, I grew out of it, but also because of like my sister was going down the wrong path at one time. We're not gonna talk about her. But I felt like she was kind of following my path, because we were super close. So I kind of tried to change my surroundings. I left my area where I was up to no good at all times. I went so far away from where I grew up, and the people who I grew up with never visited me. And I don't even think majority of them probably still live in that same town, doing whatever they're doing. But, so I was in a whole different world. I was with my brother in New York City. I didn't know nobody. So everything changed and altered, and Aaron Hernandez, as they said in there, they were wishing that he got drafted so much further away from all of the nonsense it is. But I feel like because he was such an angry person, unless he went to San Francisco, honey, and found a gay man that changed his life and made him release all that anger, because clearly he was an undercover brother. Maybe that would have helped him, you know, I don't know. He needed a psychiatrist, and he needed maybe to come out. I feel like I don't even want to talk about his sexuality. I know this documentary is very heavy on like this one football player, and we just keep hearing about him being gay. But I guess because there's a lot of gay football players. How many gay football players are there in NFL? There has been only one player who has been publicly come out gay or bisexual while being active, and that's Carl. Is that the guy we just saw? No, this is another guy in 2021. Really? There's only one? No way. Now it says 16. Now there's 16 gay men. Oh, this is throughout the history, Charles. There's Roy Simmons, Jeff, whatever, all these people that I'm not going to start pronouncing. But there was quite attended a training camp. They even got the ones who attended the training camp. Lord. Anyways, I thought there was a lot more openly gay men in football, but clearly there isn't. But honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I don't know if you guys haven't known. What was his name? Patrick Ryan? Patrick, what was his name? I don't even know what was his name? Patrick Ryan, was it? I think it's Patrick Ryan. He was a football player. There's like this, Patrick Ryan. And here's another thing. And Patrick Ryan has a whole family, but apparently something leaked out. Sex video with him and a man. Oops, I didn't say it. But also, it's kind of fucked up that people do that to other people, because like, you don't know what that other person's going through. And then that also changes and alters their life. And now they're being outed in front of everybody. But let me tell you guys, one thing I know and two things for certain, please stop doing sex videos unless you want the shit to get out. Unless you're on OnlyFans, please stop making sex videos, because when it does get out, which eventually will get out, you're always shocked and surprised and you act crazy. Stop doing sex videos unless you want us to see your schlong or your vagina, whatever you want. If you want it to be public, then do it. Live your best life. I want you to. But stop acting surprised when it gets out. Please. Anyways, we're talking about Aaron Hernandez, right? I'm talking about sex videos. Pornography. Anyways, so I don't want this thing in my face, but I can see it still. Oh well. But anyways, regardless, there's that. So Aaron Hernandez is a killer. He's a serial killer. I call it a serial killer because it's serial killers defined by killing 2 or more, I believe. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And he's killed 3 people, and he almost murdered 4. This man was completely out of control, and that is another judgment of thou shalt never judge a book by its cover until you read its whole story. That's the only way you're going to understand what the book is about. I actually made up the other end, but it all goes together. We also had something else in here that I wanted to talk about, but I can't really remember what I wanted to say. But there was elements in here that made me go, ugh. Elements in this documentary made me get sad, emotional in the beginning. I wanted to start crying. And once again, I feel like I feel like we're making an excuse for Aaron Hernandez to be a murderer because of his life. But listen, we all had hard knock lives. A lot of people out there, the average Joe, that didn't get $40 million, okay? With that $40 million, you should have gone to a psychiatrist or something. And then the mother talking about, oh, you could have gave me $1 million and I've been set. Bitch, please. Why do I need to give, well, I mean, you gave birth, but was she even a good mother? Like, what do we actually know? There's 3 sides to every story. There's that person's side, the other person's side, and then the truth somewhere. So like, we don't know really what she really was as a mother. We would have to hear more about it, but you know, like, you don't really see the other brother with the mother in this documentary. He's off on doing his own damn thing. He only came in when we were talking about the father, and then he pieced out in this conversation. But the mother is like nowhere. The mother is like not, you don't even really, we don't get the mother. I don't think we see like clips and stuff and we hear her, but she's not really in this documentary either. So there's that. Regardless, I find it insane, and you never know people. You just never know. And they always say 9 out of 10 murders is committed by somebody that they actually know. And that's another really scary fun fact. It's just scary all the way around. But this is the world that we live in. I would say this documentary was once again uncomfortable, but we're gonna get through it. I think I do have it scheduled. Generally on Sundays is gonna be when I only film for this channel. But obviously I'm gonna film more for this channel as we continue going throughout the week and stuff like that. My movies will always happen on Thursdays. You see how I just transitioned and left Aaron Hernandez? I was like, bye! But my movies, I'm gonna start filming on Thursdays on my other channel, but they eventually make their way onto this channel. So have no fear, movie reactions will always be here. I just recycle it and put it here as well. So thank you guys so much for maybe, you know, maybe I'll try on Thursdays or Friday, whatever I watched the week prior, movie-wise, I'll just place it on this channel to have it cycle, you know? There's that. Thank you guys so much for being here. Once again, smash the like button, share, don't forget to comment down below. I will see you all next time with more reactions.